This is genuinely absurd, as an NBA journalist suggests that the Cleveland Cavaliers should ship off their starting point guard in exchange for one of the top free agents or top trade pieces, on the market right now, as the Utah Jazz have apparently reported that Lauri Markkanen, their starting former All-Star power forward, has been seeking a trade, or they have been looking to ship him off, and an NBA insider suggested the Cleveland Cavaliers should make a move for Lauri Markkanen. We're going to dive into the details of this expected move, I guess, or not so expected, as much as it is just rumored or just suggested that they should make the move. And we're going to dive into the details of both these players, why I believe this trade is horrible for the Cavaliers, and kind of what perspective it gives us as fans and as analysts on how the rest of the NBA sees Darius Garland, that they believe that they see him as this some sort of value that him and another Cavaliers player are worth sending for a guy like Lauri Markkanen. So we're going to talk about that. Hey, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hope everyone's having a good day. Thank you guys for joining me here on Cavs Digest. I'm Matt Palange, back with another video. So excited to push out another video for you guys. Preseason is over. We are exactly 1 week away from the Cleveland Cavaliers' first game against the New York Knicks. So that's why this is the perfect time to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, so you can stay updated with everything and all things Cavaliers, from storylines about players, who stands out to us, who stands out in a negative way as well, trade rumors, signing potentials, G League guys that you might be able to figure out from Cavs Digest, such as Norshad Omier or Tristan Enaruna, guys that I put you onto, I think, here at Cavs Digest. So let's talk about this trade. We're done yapping. Let's dive into the trade now. So the centerpiece that the Cleveland Cavaliers would be trading would be Darius Garland, as this trade is completely focused around him being gone off the Cavaliers. And I've talked about how his future with the Cavs has been in question by fans and by the media. It hasn't really been in question by the Cavaliers at all. It doesn't really look like they were 100% ever interested. It seems like that it was just an idea that, like, if they got the right thing, that they were not willing to say no to a Darius Garland trade. But this is just kind of one of those other ideas where it's like, where's Darius Garland's value at? And it just shows that a lot of analysts and journalists kind of seem like Darius Garland should be gone off the Cavs, which is something that I've mentioned so many times since joining this channel. So it wouldn't be a straight-up swap, but it would be Darius Garland be the main focus, and Lauri Markkanen, who you see in the Cavs jersey here, we actually traded him to the Jazz in exchange for Donovan Mitchell. He was a part of the Donovan Mitchell package, I believe. So that is how Mr. Lauri Markkanen ended up at Jazz, who is currently playing with now. And he used to be on the Cavaliers, didn't really do anything exciting. He was on the Bulls before that. Lauri Markkanen was whatever. I'm pretty sure, was he a part of the D. Wade deal? Somebody's correct me on that, but I didn't quite double check that. I think he might have been a part of the Dwayne Wade deal or something like that, or what other deal around the 2019 timeline, or 2018, 17, 19 timeline, around there. But yeah, Lauri Markkanen used to be a Cavalier. Let's look at his stats from last season. So he averaged 19 points on 31.4 minutes a game, 6 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 42% from the field, and 35% from three. Lauri Markkanen is well known for his tall sculpture paired with his outside scoring ability at his size. He's not an elite rebounder, which is why I think it's the biggest question, is why would you get a 7-footer that just can't rebound the ball? But it's also more just the fact that we've already seen him in Cleveland. We kind of know what he's capable of, and we've seen enough Lauri Markkanen. I think he had like some crazy 25-point per game season where he was an all-star with the Jazz, but it seems like we're a little bit past that timeline. I don't think you're ever going to get a better Lauri Markkanen, and I'm going to kind of talk about why I don't like this trade simply for fit, but let's compare that now to Darius Garland's stats. On paper alone, it seems like we lose this trade. Simply, we just lose scoring, we lose playmaking, and we lose efficiency, because Garland is more efficient than Lauri Markkanen. But you also just lose your primary playmaker outside of, I guess Donovan Mitchell is your primary playmaker, but Darius Garland leads the team in assists. He is a shifty point guard who's able to create shots, shoot the ball well, and then you would just replace him with a small forward, power forward, center, I guess. This is just, I hate this trade, but this trade also, let's just go into the full trade details. Let's go into that first. So it would be the Cavs trade idea ships out Darius Garland, lands Jazz, Lauri Markkanen. Cleveland Cavaliers receive Lauri Markkanen, but the Cleveland Cavaliers would give up Darius Garland, Max Strus, 2031 first-round pick. Tell me why in the hell the Cavaliers would give up 3 things for Lauri Markkanen. I know he's good. I know he's tall. I know the Cavaliers could use some size, but this is just not the way to do it. I don't think giving up. I mean, okay. Look at Max Strus. We're gonna look at Max Strus here because he's also a part of the trade. Keep an eye on that because we'll talk about it as this video continues. But yeah, that's gonna be the full trade details that Mr. Eddie Vitar suggests. Eddie Vitar also stated the Cleveland Cavaliers would completely transform their identity with this trade, moving from a guard-heavy roster to a size-dominant lineup. By adding Lauri Markkanen to a front court already featuring Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, Cleveland would boast one of the most intimidating trios in the NBA. So I'm assuming they would like approach our starting lineup of like Mitchell or Lonzo Mitchell, Lauri, Mobley, and Jarrett Allen, which would just be like they would just completely go from a undersized lineup to an oversized lineup. I just don't see the fit with Donovan Mitchell. I understand that uh, Lauri can shoot, and he can actually shoot pretty well. That's kind of his primary part of his game is that he could score on all three levels. He can play pick and pop. He's also really good in the post, but he just straight doesn't miss. Well, he does miss. I'm sorry, but shooting around he doesn't miss. But a lot of players don't. But he's really tall, and he can stretch the floor very well. So I love Lauri's game, but specifically for Utah is a kind of ball dominant lineup because Utah doesn't really have that many players that demand the ball. So Lauri is able to kind of do whatever he wants. I don't think he'd be able to do that in Cleveland. I mean, we saw when he was in Cleveland, he wasn't able to do that. I don't think with Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley, and I don't think he would just have a good fit there. And also, if that's what your lineup approach is, then DeAndre Hunter, where is he? Unless you move DeAndre Hunter to the 2, you have Mitchell at the 1. Like, I don't know. This lineup just doesn't make sense from a basketball standpoint because there's not enough playmaking. It's just kind of a lot of guys that want the ball in their hands. And I just don't think that lineup quite works. This isn't the 2018 Warriors with Kevin Durant and Curry. This is a lineup composed of guys who are going to request the ball except Allen and Mobley. This lineup completely doesn't make sense at all. So now let's go into the Max Strus part of this trade because we talked about the negatives of it. Max Strus is actually a guy that I expect to see in a lot of mock trades. Not only do I expect to see him in mock trades, I expect to see Max Strus out of a Cavs jersey around the trade deadline. I can't for sure say trade deadline because if the Cavs are dominating, why would they make the move? Actually, I don't know. That could be a reason because he's going to be injured. So who knows at this point? I think Max Strus is going to be a guy that you're going to hear a lot about. I think with the Cleveland Cavaliers acquiring players and young depth in their G League roster and in their training camp, I think there's a lot of options to replace Max Strus. And I think DeAndre Hunter is a better player. I think the fact that Max Strus has been playing a small forward for so long has kind of put a distraught on Cavs fans because we do not want to see a shooting guard playing a small forward anymore. And I truly believe that Max Strus is going to be packaged in a lot of deals and a lot of projected deals as time continues simply for the fact that he's undersized. DeAndre Hunter is way better than him. Sam Merrill is honestly not much of a worse player than Max Strus, and he's a shooting guard, so you have him at shooting guard anyways. You have Lonzo at the guard, Garland at the guard, and I think there's a lot of Max Strus deals that you could see. So him being a part of this trade does not surprise me, but what does surprise me is that this Eddie Vitar guy believes that Darius Garland and Max Strus are worth completely transforming a lineup into a full big man lineup, which just doesn't make sense because Darius Garland's biggest flaw is his defense, and I'll be honest with you guys, Lauri Markkanen doesn't really play defense either. He's just tall. He doesn't play defense. You want Mitchell at the 1 playing defense? Come on, dude. Come on, dude. I'm not the biggest Darius Garland fan, but I think this trade would be horrible for the Cavs. But you guys can comment down below what you guys think, and that is it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think about this mock trade. I think it is pretty absurd, hence the title. I think that this trade would hurt the Cavs more than it would help. But let me know what you guys think. Like this video, comment below your thoughts. Subscribe to this channel, share this video with your friends. And as always, I'm Palange. Thank you guys for joining me here on Cavs Digest.